turned blue.
Okay, then we're
So
good.
is that on?
Yeah.
Okay. I definitely didn't get the camera framed right, but I'm letting it go.
Okay.
Because I just am. TV is definitely not my skill set.
Should I sit up front so it looks like
Shabbat Shalom, anyone
Somebody's
who's watching.
Is our synagogue going to be doing anything to send down to the synagogue in Mississippi? Because I know I've donated to another synagogue.
Don't know.
There has been no discussion of it.
Pardon me? No
No
discussion?
discussion of it.
Huh,
I think there are probably websites where
Well-
we could donate.
right.
Yeah, I mean, so the thing with trying to send stuff, I was,
I meant money, not,
oh, yeah, that would be the best. I was actually at, an Olive, like, convention. I have some friends who were there. And the rabbi of the synagogue in Mississippi was at the convention and went home early from it. So, like, my friends know the rabbi of that congregation. But, you know, I mean, the building is burned down, so to send stuff at this point wouldn't be, like, so I heard some people go, like, should we send books? Like, no, not right now. I don't have anywhere to put
Wouldn't even
anything.
have a place to put the stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I imagine they're probably in need of financial assistance. Yeah, I'm just trying, I feel like I might have seen something, but I'm not.
The picture,
Oh, it's horrific. Yeah. Yeah. Just unimaginable.
but it is imaginable in the United States now,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Sadly,
Yeah. Same synagogue that was bombed.
the KK,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, that one and the one in Atlanta were the ones. Yeah. I guess, you know, when you're the only big synagogue in Mississippi, it's easier to become a target. But, all right. We'll start with candlelight. At least I could get that to work. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Please turn to page 13 for Shalom Aleichem. I was going to say we can wish each other Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Those
Shalom.
that there are. Shabbat Shalom. If there's anyone on the stream, I don't even know how to check that. So I won't. I'll just hope there's someone on there. That's all right. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei have finished a prayer asking for peace, I would like to offer a counterpoint, author unknown. It's an alternative to, you know, the Lord make me a channel of your peace? So this one is, Lord make me a channel of disturbance. The reverse St. Francis prayer. Lord, make me a channel of disturbance. Where there is apathy, let me provoke. Where there is compliance, let me bring questioning. Where there is silence, may I be a voice. Where there is too much comfort and too little action, grant disruption. Where there are doors closed and hearts locked, grant the willingness to listen. When laws dictate and pain is overlooked, when tradition speaks louder than need, grant that I may seek rather to do justice than to talk about it. Disturb us, O Lord, to be with as well as for the alienated, to love the unlovable as well as the lovely. Lord, make me a channel of disturbance. Please turn to page 21 for Lehuna Ranana. Lehuna Ranana, Ladonai, Naria Litzor Yishenu, Nekat Mafanav V'todah, Bizmirot Naria Lo, Ki El Gadol Adonai, Umelech Gadol Al Kol Elohim, Asher B'yado Mechkerei Haaretz, V'toafot Harim Lo. Please turn to page 41 for Lechadodi. Lechadodi likrakala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrakala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmiyanu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, Ushemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litila, Lechadodi likrakala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrakala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrak Shabbat lechuvenelcha, ki mekor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tila. Lechadodi likrakala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrakala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki va'oret umi ori, uri, uri, shir daberi, kivod Adonai alayech nigla. Lechadodi likrakala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrakala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Yaminu smol tifrotzi, v'et Adonai taharitzi, al yadish ben parsi, Henei Shabbat Nikabela Lechadutili Rakala Henei Shabbat Nikabela. Please be seated. Please turn to page 49 for Tov Lehodot. And before we sing, I'd like to share a little poem by Uli Kay, who is someone I found online, and I've really enjoyed a lot of their poetry. It's untitled. In English, we say, one day at a time. In poetry, we say, I can hold no more than the breath that I am breathing now. I am not thinking about tomorrow because I am still living in today. Anything beyond this present moment does not ease my troubles. It disrupts my peace. So our Shabbat psalm is really, I feel that it does call us to be in the present moment and to find that sense of gratitude in each moment, and some are harder than others. And it has certainly been an incredibly difficult week with so much that has been, frankly, unimaginable that's been happening. From a synagogue burned down by an anti-Semite to people being shot and having gas shot at them and everything else in Minnesota. And it's so much. Sometimes we just have to be like in the poem. I can hold no more than the breath that I am breathing now. And that is the opportunity of Shabbat, is to, as much as possible, and I know we're human, we're not very good at it, to let go of other moments and not worry about tomorrow and not think about the past, but as much as possible to breathe into this moment and to take on that added measure of spirit that we are granted on Shabbat. And one of the ways that we do that is through blessing. So if anyone does have any pieces of blessing or gratitude that you'd like to share tonight, I think we can encourage each other with that, to breathe in this moment.
I was thankful for the later sunset tonight, and knowing that, the sun is coming back.
Yeah, that is a relief.
I'm thankful that my cousin Beth, who has an lymphatic cancer of the spine, the radiations are working, and which is really good. And Michael starts the College of New Jersey in a few weeks with a major in history and secondary education. He's switching over. He's changing from a 2-year college now.
That's incredible.
And his mother couldn't take off to go to this orientation, so he asked his grandmother to go with him.
Oh, that's so sweet. Wow. I
Wow.
still remember when he was little.
Yeah,
That's just wild.
yeah, it is wild, isn't it?
Yeah, beautiful. And I have been really grateful that I've had, people from my own community in Atlanta that have been up here they were up here for like a week. And so I got to see my friend Charlie, who's like a brother. I got to see him multiple times, and some other people from Atlanta as well. And it just was an incredible joy. So we'll hold all of those things as we sing. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, u'zamer l'shimcha elyon, lagi baboker chastecha, ve'emunotcha baleilot. like to do the Baruchu tonight, whether or not we have a minyan. So please turn to page 57. Since I can't see who's online, we're just going to assume lots. Please rise. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Please be seated and please turn to page 60 for Asher Baruch. Praised are you, God, ruler of the universe, who has ordained the rhythm of life. The day with its light calls to activity and exertion, but when the day wanes, when, with the setting of the sun, colors fade, we cease from our labors and welcome the tranquility of the night. The subdued light of the moon and stars, the darkness and the stillness about us invite rest and repose. Trustfully we yield to the quiet of sleep, for we know that while we are unaware of what goes on within and around us, our powers of body and mind are renewed. Therefore, at this evening hour, we seek composure of spirit. We give thanks for the day and its tasks, and for the night and its rest. Praised are you, God, who brings on the evening. Please turn to page 63. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta, al kein Adonai Eloheinu, v'shokveinu v'kumeinu, nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu, v'yorech yameinu, uvahem neged yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla. V'ahavatcha lo tasor mimenu li'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavecha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol meotecha, v'hayu adivarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinatam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'beitecha, uvlechtecha b'derech, uvshokbecha uvkumecha, uvshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, uvtzavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Please continue silently with selection 1 or selection 2 on the following pages and concluding on page 73. 79 for Mi Chamocha. Mi Chamocha Beilim Adonai, Mi Chamocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Norah Tehilot Osei Feleh, Malchutecha Rovanecha, Bokeh Yam Lifnei Moshe, Se'elianu V'yamru, Adonai Yimloch Le'olam Va'ed, V'ne'emar Ki Vada Adonai et Yaakov, Ugelo Yad Chazak Mimenu, Baruch Atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Please join me on page 80 in the Hashkivenu. Help us to lie down, dear one, our God, in peace, and let us rise again, our sovereign, to life. Spread over us the shelter of your peace, decree for us a worthy daily lot, and redeem us for the sake of your great name, and enfold us in the wings of your protection, for you are our redeeming guardian. Truly a sovereign, gracious, and compassionate God are you. Guard our going forth each day for life and peace, now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Blessed are you, compassionate one, who spreads your canopy of peace over all your people Israel, over Jerusalem, and the entire world. Amen. So we'll take a moment for our healing prayer. And thanks to Ria for sending the list. This Shabbat we pray for healing for Anya Bat Kalman Lieb and Maria Milagros, Rachel Aubry, Karen Azarki, Jerry and Flo Baker, Jeff Bloom, Joseph Bodnar, Jim Brodowicz, Yolanda Burley, Stephen Cohen, Sharon Coleman, Jim Collins, Butch Delahanty, Michelle DeMattea Williams, Junior Diaz, Marianne DeLucia, Evelyn and David Elias, Paul Everett, Lise Patel, Don Fink, Tom Frischella, Carla Gazor, Eileen Gale, Samantha Gentry, Marissa Giacchetti, Art Geyer, Agnes Hamill, Aaliyah and Ruby Hilliard, Stacy Hotman, Judy Howard, Sheldon Jaffe, Phyllis Kamer, Ken and Elaine Kellick, Scott Kerr, Rosemary Kittle, Brian Krall, Jerry, June, Joshua, and Rosemary Kramer, Christine Lazarchik, Elaine Levitt, Stuart Lipkin, Sharon Littleford, Steve Martin, Ann MacArthur, Andrea Melton, Bella Mitchell, Dr. Francis Murphy, Karen Nissom, Rita Nissom, Liz Orlandi, Albert Orlandi, Charlie Phillips, Jeanette and Bob Poole, John Pushman, Joseph Pushman, Edward Quinn, Gerald Ratner, Deanna Rizziello, Bruce Bird and Sandy Schwartzberg, Lori Smythe, Heather Saul, Melissa Solomon, Marty Spiegelman, Geraldine Thompson, David Thompson, Donna Tormeno, Elaine Trackman, Danielle Turco, Louis Walker, Evelyn Weinstein, Bobby Weissman, Terry and Michael Weiss, Gary Wheelock, Karen Wood, Josh Zeitz, Steve Zielinski, Diane, sister of Cindy Braddock, Judy's son, Kim G's daughter, our beloved Israel, and the entire world. Are there other names to mention?
Mel Akron and the aunt of Mary and the mother of the birth.
The Good Family.
Yes. Yes. And everyone who's affected in Minnesota right now. Ana el marifana la, Ana el marifana la, Ana el please rise for Vishamru. Vishamru, V'nei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, La'asot et HaShabbat, L'dorotam Berito Lam. Vishamru, V'nei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, La'asot et HaShabbat, L'dorotam Berito Lam. Ve'ni uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Vishamru, V'nei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, La'asot et HaShabbat, L'dorotam Berito Lam. Ki sheshet yamim, asa Adonai, et HaShamayim v'et ha'aretz. Vishamru, V'nei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, La'asot et HaShabbat, L'dorotam Berito Lam. Uvayom hashvi, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru, V'nei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, La'asot et HaShabbat, L'dorotam Berito Lam. Please turn to page 91 for the Amidah. We will begin together, and then I invite you to continue silently with your own prayers, whatever you need them to be this evening. When you've finished your own prayers, please be seated. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fiya ki tehilasecha. Open my lips, beloved one, and let my mouth declare your praise. shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
So for the last few weeks, or the last few months, probably, I've been talking about some of the teachings from the Institute for Jewish Spirituality course on Rabbi Nachman. And there's actually another course that I've been doing through them as well, and this one is a healing journey through the Torah, trauma, resilience, and the tree of life. And it's weekly teachings from Rabbi Lisa Goldstein. So it looks at each Torah portion through that lens of trauma and what we need for healing and how Judaism can help facilitate that. So this week's Torah portion is Va'era, and it's a Torah portion where, I mean, there's a few things that happen. So one of the things that happen is that, you know, Moses is called to go before Pharaoh and say, let my people go, and he's like, oh no. I am not good at speaking, I can't do that, you know, who should I even say is sending me, and all of that. So he's got a lot of excuses, and, you know, in the Torah portion, God tries to address those issues and sends his brother along with him to provide support in various ways, and it's different in each situation. But the other big thing in this Torah portion is this concept of Pharaoh's hardened heart. And so it's a little bit of a conundrum, because we're told that God hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he wouldn't let the people go. So then, where was the free will in that? And did Pharaoh actually do anything wrong on his own, or was it God that made him do it? And so this kind of creates some ethical problems in Jewish tradition, and you know, it's kind of hard to think of God doing that and then having the Israelites experience so much suffering. So how do we understand that? And did God really do it so that God could make God's self look strong? Because that's kind of the message, is that God is going to basically crack down on Pharaoh and the Egyptians, and it's going to show everyone how powerful God is. So that's a view of God that maybe a lot of us aren't so fond of these days. But there's a subtlety to what happens in the story. So in the beginning, it says that Pharaoh's heart is hardened. So in the beginning, it doesn't say that God hardened Pharaoh's heart. It just said that his heart was hard. And so we don't know where that came from. And then when the story goes on and the plagues go on, then it starts to say that God hardened Pharaoh's heart. And so Rashi teaches in Exodus 7:3, he says, I will harden Pharaoh's heart. Such indeed is the method of the Blessed Holy One to bring punishment upon the nations, so that Israel may hear of it and become God-fearing. Nevertheless, in the case of the first 5 plagues, it does not say God hardened Pharaoh's heart, but rather Pharaoh's heart was hardened, that he had hardened his own heart. And so Rashi is saying that, you know, this is kind of a pattern that Pharaoh already had, and God didn't just kind of force it on Pharaoh out of nowhere. But the portion also uses different words for the hardened heart. So one of the words is kashe, which means hard. It can also have that sense of difficult in modern Hebrew. If you say something is kashe, it's like it's really difficult and challenging. Another word is chazak. And you might recognize that word from like when we finish a book of the Torah, we say chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. We're wishing for us to be strengthened. And so chazak means strong, and it can have that positive sense of strength. and not necessarily the negative sense. And then the last word is chaved, which can mean heavy or weighty or stubborn. And there's even a midrash in Shemot Rabbah that says, the Holy Blessed One rendered his heart like a liver. So apparently chaved is a word for like the liver, the organ of the liver, which when it is cooked twice becomes hard. I don't cook, is that even true? Like, if you cook liver twice, does it make it hard? I don't know. But that's what the Midrash says, and it says, thus Pharaoh's heart became like that liver, and he did not accept the words of the Blessed Holy One. So it's kind of connecting stubborn and the idea of the organ of the liver, and they're kind of playing around with the wording. And when they do that, it's because there's this difficulty in the text. It's cachet, right? It's difficult. And they don't always know exactly what to do with it. But the main sense is that Pharaoh has this hardness and this rigidity inside. And he won't be challenged. When Moses tries to challenge him earlier on, he makes it worse for the Hebrews, gives them more work. But the rabbis warn against having that sense of hardness. There's in the Talmud, Ta'anit 20a and b, it says, a person should always be soft like a reed, not hard like a cedar. So the idea that we should be able to bend and shift and adapt to, the winds that come. And a cedar might seem really strong, but apparently, according to this, and the rabbi's understanding, which again, I don't know if is true because they were not always accurate scientifically, but they say that its roots are shallow, and so they're easy to uproot and shatter in great storms. So whether that's true or not, I think it's a great metaphor, that if we become too rigid, then we can be broken when we're confronted with challenges. And it talks about what is it that leads people to harden their hearts. I mean, sometimes it is the experience of trauma, that there is a desire to protect oneself. And so, was there something going on with Pharaoh that led him to grow up to be this person that would, terrorize people, basically, through his leadership, and, not to project that onto any contemporary events or anything, but we could do that. Pharaoh is often seen as the archetype of tyrants, and I think that reading this text now, it definitely hits differently than in previous years. So the Israelites, in the meantime, they don't believe that they can be redeemed. So Pharaoh, he hardens his heart and said, I'm not going to let you go. And the Israelites, all the way through, they don't actually believe that it can happen. And again, commentators sometimes criticize them for not having faith. But if they have anguished spirits and hard bondage, that can keep them from hope. So Rabbi Yaakov Lehner of Izbitza, a 19th century Polish Hasidic rabbi, writes, the redemption took place in stages. First, I will remove you from under the burdens of Egypt, from the burdens of slavery, to which you have become so accustomed that you no longer sense them. So he's really recognizing that when you are living in that kind of oppression, you don't always even realize that it's not normal, that it's not good. So the first step in the redemption is for them to be taken out from that, so then there can be room for something else. And after that, there's another phrase that's used, I will save you from their bondage, which means the actual slavery itself, so you're taken out from that. And then I will redeem you with an outstretched arm. He takes that from the depths of the imprint which your servitude left upon you. So this 19th century Polish rabbi recognized that suffering and oppression can leave an imprint on your soul. And then the last stage is, I will take you to me as a people so that you won't remain under any yoke except the kingdom of heaven. So, we know that religious authority can become tyrannical as well, so we won't go there. But I think it's really powerful that this 19th century rabbi could recognize that, and certainly they experienced that in Poland in the 19th century. They lived under that oppression and that suffering. And they probably didn't even imagine that there was room for hope. And some of us might be having trouble with hope right now in the situations that are going on, and that feeling of helplessness. And so there is an aspect of redemption, which means being able to recognize that imprint that's been left by it, and to be able to move out from that, to soften our hearts, to not have to be rigid. So it's not so easy. But one of the suggestions in the commentary is that because one of the symptoms of the anguish of slavery was being short of breath, that's literally the term that's used to describe the Hebrews in slavery. This rabbi suggests we could practice bringing special awareness to our breath, and to notice whether we feel that shortness of breath because of the weight of everything that's happening. And to try and see if we can modify the breathing in a really conscious way. So breathing in, this suggests breathing in for a count of 3, holding it for a count of 2, and exhaling for a count of 4. I don't know why that is. Maybe there's some like biological something in that pattern of breathing that I don't know about. But I think the main thing is just to notice your breathing and to focus on really being able to take in air and to let it out again, that we don't have to steel ourselves up and become short of breath under the weight of everything that we're carrying. So in the midst of all that we are experiencing, and people with hard hearts, may we all find ways to keep a certain amount of inner softness ourselves, to try and not to let any of that imprint our souls, and to support each other in that. Shabbat shalom.
Rabbi, I just finished reading a book called Hope Finds You by a rabbi. No, I'm trying to find her name.
Hope
It
Finds
was
You.
really good. She finds herself as a rabbi, but she also finds that she has a child that is dying, or they think, based on a true story. I'll see if I can really. Let me see if I can find the name of it. It was really a good read. Hope Finds You. Hope
I mean, just even the title is
Finds
incredible.
You.
The idea that we don't manufacture hope for ourselves all the time, the idea that sometimes it could find us. Because I think that's also part of the suffering that the Israelites were experiencing, because they couldn't even imagine what hope would look like. So how could they even manufacture it? You know, it had to kind of come from the outside for them.
It's by, okay, I'm sorry, Naomi Levy.
Oh,
Really a good
yeah, she
good
writes
book.
good stuff. Yeah, I didn't know that one, but
Excellent.
all right. Well, thank you for that. I'm going to definitely look that one up.
And just wanted to let people, we have
I
Russell's up.
heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other day they went to Quaker Bridge Mall, and I said to Merle, make sure you take your documentation with you, just, to have.
Not that they even care if you have it.
No.
I mean, they snatch people up even when you have documentation. I mean, it's disappear you somewhere. Yeah.
I'm glad my mother-in-law's not around to see this.
Yeah. I have a lot of family in Minnesota.
Pardon me?
So I have a lot of family in Minnesota. So
Do
this
you?
Yeah. My brother and sister-in-law and nephews live in Minnesota. I have aunts and uncles. Like, that's where both sets of grandparents lived, was in Minneapolis, St. Paul. So I spent a lot of time in my childhood in that area, and like the kindest people in the world
Yeah.
are in Minnesota, and they're getting brutalized, and
And it's Good's fault. It's her own fault, right? She got what she.
What?
I wonder if someone could unharden Trump's heart,
yeah, that would be pretty amazing, wouldn't it?
or we have a Trump whisperer, maybe.
I don't know
Sorry if I
certainly
hit
didn't
somebody
work
else's
out
foot.
with Pharaoh, but
Pardon me?
it certainly didn't work out with Pharaoh. His heart was never unhardened in the story. It took that outside dramatic intervention to stop what was happening.
So let me ask you this then, was Pharaoh narcissistic?
That actually, the commentary I was reading does talk about whether that there can be a fragility to like a narcissist being, and so they build all this up to protect that fragility, and that's where the hardness comes from, is to protect that vulnerability that they can't even admit is there, oftentimes. So
We used to call those, when we classified, sociopaths or socially maladjusted years ago.
yeah, I mean,
Sorry, I'm sorry, I
no,
shouldn't.
there's so much that I could say. I'm not going to right now. Like maybe after the service.
I think Ev,
Pardon me?
I think Ev might be ringing the doorbell.
Oh gosh, I didn't even hear anything.
There's a door?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, good thing you could hear. 'Cause
Sorry.
I also texted.
Sorry if I was out of line by bringing up the, it's just, it's really,
it's obvious. I mean,
it hurts.
It does. It's extremely painful to see the brutality, just absolute brutality. Like thousands of, more than there are police in that area. Thousands of agents out there just.
And the indigenous are now having problems
Yeah,
too.
they're snatching up Native Americans and like. Yeah, and like one of the leaders in one of the Native American tribes sent a letter saying, you know, that like we have our own sovereignty, you can't do this, and they got a response from ICE saying,
We'll send you to Greenland probably.
No, they said if you agree to cooperate with ICE and whatever, then we'll, you know, consider that.
These people were here before we were here.
Yeah, I just can't even, yeah. So, I actually just got an email like before the service, and it was about, hey, I have a call for clergy from around the country to come out on the 22nd and 23rd for a day of action in different cities, and I'm like, oh, I so want to go, but like I can't just buy a last minute plane ticket, you know what I mean? So, anyway. All right.
I was thinking discretionary. Sorry.
Yeah, that's not exactly set up yet, so.
No.
But for future reference. We're going to continue the service with announcements, as we always do. And next week we have a Zoom service, which I believe is good because I think there's supposed to be snow next weekend and stuff. So, yay, we'll be on Zoom. And then the week after that we have Marley's Brit Mitzvah, which is just so exciting. Yeah, we just had their run through before the
Is that a
service.
Saturday or a Friday night?
Friday and
Friday and
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yep, so it'll be both. So especially encouraging our community to come on Friday night, because there will be less guests and stuff on Friday night. So please come, help make a minyan, all of that, and celebrate Marley. So really looking forward to that. He's got a good speech. So, and there's other stuff going on. Check the calendar online.
Oh,
Mine's.
There's a bunch of sisterhood events.
Yeah, there's like a yoga
There's
thing
yoga on
this
the
month,
27th, whatever Tuesday is, and then.
and there's an art thing.
Yeah, but that's later in February.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff. Just keep an eye on the calendar. And yeah, let's continue the service, move towards our close. We'll turn to page 119, and I invite you to rise, or 121. Please rise for the Elena. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teikdu l'yotzer breshit, shenatan lanu Torah temet, v'chayei olam natav v'tokeinu, v'anachnu korim, u'mishlach alim kakatu b'toratacha, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai le'melech al kol ha'aretz, v'yom hahu, yigeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. Please turn to page 131 for the Mourner's Kaddish. This Shabbat, we are remembering a lot of people. We are remembering Bernard Zeichner, father of Stan Zeichner, Jacob Epstein, great uncle of Brian Epstein, Julius Bloom, father of Randy Bloom, Jenny Groveman, mother-in-law of Sina Groveman, Marcel Nissim, husband of Lee Nissim, Shirley Kushner, mother of Ellen Benowitz, wife of Saul Kushner, Ellen Werman, who was a sisterhood member, Ethel Spicer, mother of Bernie Spicer, Minnie Goodstein, mother of Herman Goodstein, Rose Wasserman, mother of Linda Boker, Ida Josephson, mother of Sam Josephson, Minnie Kaufman, grandmother of Phyllis Bush. And we are in the first year for Rhoda Kessler, who is a former member. Are there other names to mention? I do not have the name of the person who was shot in the Twin Cities yesterday, in addition to Renee Nikolka. So, but I'm remembering them, even though I don't have their name at this point. Yikadal, Yikadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'alma divrach Yeruteh, V'yamlich malchuteh, V'chayechon, V'yomechon, V'chayeh, V'chol Beit Yisrael, V'agalah, V'bizman Kariv, V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Olmei Olmaya. Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei Dekudashah, Brechu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, v'amiran v'yalma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, Amen. May all of their memories be for a blessing. Please be seated. And we'll conclude our service with Adon Olam. Does anyone have a melody that they prefer tonight? Or should I just pick it? I'll just pick it. Okay. Adon Olam Asher Malach V'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'ikna Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'Yacharei Hiklos HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora V'hu Hayav V'hu Hoveh V'hu Yiyeh V'Tifara V'hu Echad V'Ein Sheni Le'am Shilo le'hafira, v'li reshi, v'li tachlit, v'lo ha'oz, v'am Yisra, v'hu eli, v'chai go'ali, v'tzor v'li, v'yein tzara, v'hu nisi, umanos li, v'nakosi, Yom Ekra, V'yado, Akib Ruchi, V'yeti Shan, V'yahira, V'yim Ruchi, K'vi'ati, Adonai li, V'lo ira. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Okay, Thank you.
Anyone know how to turn the stream off?
Yes.
Why should you know? Shabbat shalom, I'm glad you
Thank you.
came.
Thank you.
Very likely, yeah. But